to SveNFL.
What's up, y'all?
It's Jonathan Rollins.
Skip Vizara.
And we're two Americans living in Sweden, talking about football. Man, first and foremost, shout out to, in general, college football playoffs. It was the first time both of our teams have been in. Has your team ever missed it? You never missed it since it started.
We have missed it.
Oh, when was that?
We lost it a couple of years ago, back when it was a 4-team thing.
Oh, yeah, the 4-team. Okay, yeah.
Where we got punished for losing the SEC championship game.
Okay.
Unlike Alabama this year, they lose the SEC championship game, and
3 games.
They were ranked
3 games.
They were ranked number 9 going into it, and they just stayed at number 9.
Insane.
Okay.
Insane.
It was absolute chaos. And poor Notre Dame. I'm glad you guys made it in, but it's just so funny that you guys at Miami and Notre Dame don't even play on conference championship weekend, and somehow just poof, Notre Dame's gone. Miami's in, and then Notre Dame acts like a bunch of little bitches and just says, you know what, we're not going to play in our bowl game because we're mad. It's like, fuck you. Such an easy solution to their problem. Like, they've been asked to join the ACC. They didn't join. Had they done that, they would have gone to the ACC championship game, and they would have beat the snot out of Duke or Virginia, whoever they would have had to play.
And then no questions.
And then there'd be no questions. So you can't like say, "Oh, we don't want to participate," and then get all fucking in your feels when you on the outside looking in. Because the best way to get in is to do like my dogs did and win the SEC championship back to back, bitches. Let's go.
Oh, man. Good times.
That was the most comfortable Georgia game I watched all year. I was up at the game started around 10-ish here. Me and Isak were sitting there in the living room until like 2 o'clock in the morning. And it was just such a weird feeling in the fourth quarter to be up as much as we were against Alabama of all teams and just be like, this is like, the fourth quarter was almost boring. Held them to -4 yards.
So
rushing.
That's what made me think that they wouldn't get in because they got beat back.
Yeah.
Third loss. But whatever.
You can't make sense out of college football rankings. It makes no fucking sense.
Well, can you make sense out of the Detroit Lions putting up 44 on the Cowboys?
That makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah.
I mean, this was like a hell of a start to the week for sure.
Yeah.
They just, the Lions were just in their bag. Jahmyr Gibbs. Did he have another 3-touchdown game? I think he had 3 touchdowns.
They're talking about some potential MVP stuff for him.
Stop it. We all know that this is not going to happen.
Yeah, I know.
The interesting thing about the Cowboys, despite obviously they lose this game, they're still kind of in the hunt. We'll get to the Eagles later, but I just thought it was kind of impressive how even though CeeDee Lamb left with a concussion, like all of a sudden they just slot in this guy who I've never heard of, Ryan Flournoy.
Yeah.
9 catches for 115 yards and a touchdown. Like, this offense is pretty vicious.
Yeah.
I mean, the Lions are doing what they have to do to keep pace. That division is kind of fun to watch right now. I'm assuming they're gonna make it into the playoffs. They still have a chance to win the division, I guess. Do they play? Who do they play?
Play next?
Nah. They don't really. The team, Green Bay, is in the lead for the division, and they've already finished their 2 games against Green Bay, so that's kind of out of the picture. They actually have a pretty well. They play the Rams next week, and then from there they go Steelers, Vikings, Bears. So I don't like their chances of winning the division, but they'll make it in. Yeah. They just got to worry about that defense, man. It's the same problem with them this year that it was last year. You know, they can put 44 points on the board, but they're also going to give up 30. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm a little worried about them.
Yeah, same. Are you worried about the Seahawks?
You know, it's funny. I was a little worried about this game was so stupid. Bird battle, Seahawks, Falcons. So this game was 6-6 at the half.
Yeah.
And I remember I just kept going, okay, Falcons.
Yeah, same.
Defense is playing well. They kept shouting out my guy, James Pierce Jr. He's the rookie edge rusher we took in the first round this year. He's had a sack in 5. He's had at least 1 sack in the past 5 games. So that's always encouraging to hear. But after they came out of the half, the first play from the half, we kick it off, and Rashid Shaheed, former Saint, now with the Seahawks, runs it back for a 100-yard touchdown run. And then it was just like, it just unraveled from there.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Just a hot mess in the second half. Just a hot mess. The only thing that actually worked was, oddly enough, was Kirk Cousins' connection to Kyle Pitts.
You like that? You like that?
What he didn't like was all those interceptions he kept throwing.
Yes. Right.
I mean, it was brutal. I mean, this final score, 37-9, is kind of how I thought it would go. Considering what the Falcons are, who they are right now. It's just a shame. I don't know. I can't even begin to tell you. We could do a whole hour on the rumors in Atlanta about what's going to happen with the coaching staff. But nobody cares except for me and our boy Ken. so we can move on to the game of the week. Titans beating the Browns.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we thought this was a complete shit bowl, and it turned into an exciting fucking game. One of the best games of the week.
It did. And, you know, despite the loss, Shedeur played pretty well, actually. He played pretty well. He had a real connection with this his tight end, the other rookie, Harold Fannin Jr. 114 yards and a touchdown. But, you know, at the end of the day, there was a lot of petty back and forth. You know, obviously there's a bit of a rivalry between Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders. You know, during the pre-draft process, you know, there was a little bit of shit talking, but yeah, you know, it's like Shedeur is. They had a discussion about is it about putting in the work or is it about getting the sponsorships and all this kind of stuff? And Cam Ward was like, yeah, I don't know about you, but I'm just a football player. I ain't out here making commercials. It was like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But you know, the Titans basically just played their way out of the number 1 pick, which I don't know if anybody cares about that. I guess you do if you're a Titans fan.
No, they shouldn't care about that. They got the quarterback.
I think you're better off. Actually, hot take. I think the number 1 pick is overrated.
Yeah, see what you got.
I think you're better off letting most teams make the wrong pick when they have the first overall pick. So you're kind of better off at 2, 3, or 4, because then you don't have to be forced to make that dumb decision all the way at the top. You know.
And it's not like this is the year.
You're better off being a few picks back so you can actually pick what you need, right? Tony Pollard balled out in this game too. Tony Pollard was awesome. But, ultimately these are two teams that don't matter at all. But they're fun. This is that time of year where these kind of teams are actually a little fun to watch, because the players are out here playing with some pride and, maybe trying to get their next
it's good
gig.
when it doesn't feel like a tank fest.
One team that apparently left their pride at home, the Washington Commanders with the goose egg, 0 points against the Vikings, 31-0. Was this just like an all-time shit your pants moment, or was this all about 9 rising to the occasion? What's your opinion?
I think it was 9 rising. No, I think it was the magic number is 70, which is the combined quarterback rating of Jaden Daniels and Marcus Mariota. They were like, all right, Vikings quarterbacks, you want to get 35s? We'll get 1, 2. We'll get 2 of those to match you guys.
Oh my God, Marcus Mariota had minus fantasy points. Oh my God. Did he? I see that he threw an interception, but he must have fumbled too. Jesus, that's terrible.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know what else to say about this. It's just an ass whooping.
Well, yeah, obviously there were a lot of turnovers in this game. I think the other thing that I was joking about J.J. McCarthy, the other thing that you have to realize, just look at Justin Jefferson, 4 targets, 2 catches for 11 yards. This is one of the best receivers in the NFL. I just think that it should be quite obvious to the coaching staff that they made a big mistake. Oh, yeah. I'm not going to sit here and say yes, they should have kept Sam Darnold. I actually understand why that whole situation transpired the way it did. Yeah. But given that what you know now, we got some. This ain't even unknown. We got some known knowns up in this motherfucker right here. J.J. McCarthy cannot play quarterback in the NFL. No. Period. No. That's a known.
You know who else can't play quarterback? Brady Cook.
I cannot believe the Jets had to play with Brady Cook.
Tyrod Taylor wasn't looking better anyway. But
did Tyrod? Why did Tyrod leave the game? Was it a concussion or
he got hurt? No, he had what was a groin injury? It was.
Okay.
Yeah, but they had 4 3-and-outs to start the game. I watched this game actually at a strip club. I've never, in a very Miami way, I watched the game from a strip club.
At a strip club, eating lemon pepper wings.
Yes. I had lemon pepper wings.
I know you did.
Yeah, man. And my friend was like, "Hey, man, when you want to watch the game?" I was like, "I don't know, man. What you want to do? Let's watch it together." He's a big Dolphins fan. Because by the way, I am in Miami, visiting family and stuff. And then my buddy was like, "Yeah, man, we can go to." He said the name of the place. He said Tootsie's, and I was like, "Tootsie's, really? What, strip club? Watch the game?" And I was like, I can't be. To myself, I said, I can't be that dude at the strip club at 1:00 on a Sunday. Geez, I gotta be that guy. And then I went there, and he told me, he's like, man, it's they have a little area. And I went in, I walked in the strip club, gigantic. Tootsie's is a gigantic strip club. And I walk past all of the strippers and then all of the guys sitting there at 1:00 at the strip club. And then I went they have a full sports bar.
1:00 on a Sunday, and you in the strip club.
Yeah, exactly. And in there were TVs up, and I was like, "What? Is this gonna be it? You know, am I gonna look past the pole to watch my team?" And then I went into the bar. They have like a full sports bar back there. It was so dope, man. Like screens all up across with all the games up. And I sat in the area, so they had a few Dolphins screens, but then they had the audio from the Dolphins game.
Nice.
And it was dope, man. I had such a good time.
What are we worried about Devon Achane? What he had to leave the game. Yeah.
Yeah, he had a knee injury. He had a knee injury. It didn't seem like it's that serious. I don't know any updates, but yeah, that sucks because they are. It looks like they decided that Tua Tagovailoa is he's just a side character. He's just the guy, you know, in the video game, the NPC, you know, and they're not putting all their faith in him anymore. And it's working. I mean, well, against the Jets, 4 wins in a row. I don't know. I don't know if you noticed. I don't know. So it was an easy game to watch, and but I don't know. But Tua made some really stupid throws too. But
I mean, obviously didn't have to do much. That you know, he got 3 interceptions from the Jets.
Yeah. Let Brady cook.
Sacking the shit out of Brady Cook. You got to him 6 times.
Yeah.
This was light work.
Yeah.
But you guys are kind of in the hunt too, are you not?
We're in the hunt. Same record as the Chiefs.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's insane. Ha! That just doesn't compute.
Yeah.
Wow.
One team that has one more win than us is the Bucks. 7-6. Took that L to the Saints. What's going on?
I think the Bucks are falling apart.
Yeah.
They've lost 4 of their last 5.
Yeah.
And Baker is not looking great.
No, man.
I was so pissed about this because I have Emeka Egbuka on my fantasy team, and he almost caught the game-winning touchdown at the end, but then he fucking dropped the ball. I was like, thanks, dude. I mean, it's great. They got Bucky Irvin back, but it's like it just feels like the last 5 or 6 weeks, the Bucks have just been on this kind of gradual decline.
Yeah.
And the last thing you want to see in the back half of your season is a division matchup against, even though the Saints, you know, they're not good, but every time you play, the Saints are one of those teams you never want to play when they're in your division, because it's like you play them, it's like a rock fight in a hallway. You know what I mean? There's nowhere to hide. It's absolutely insane. And Tyler Shuck actually, you know, he made some pretty big plays in this game.
With his feet too,
to keep them afloat. And this running back who has kind of taken over in the absence of Alvin Kamara, Devin Neal has been quite good as well. I don't know what to say about the Saints other than the fact that, I don't know, we're just going to have another off season of like weird zombie cap accounting. And I don't know. Every year we keep thinking it's all going to come crashing down on them, but somehow they keep hiding the money. I think it's the reason why they never fire their GM. I think their GM has some kind of weird system that makes it possible for them to hide money so they can keep this thing going every year. Because a GM with that kind of record over the last several years and that kind of financial situation for most franchises would have been fired a long time ago. But the Bucks are in real trouble because now they have basically the same record. I think they're ahead of the Panthers on a tiebreaker, but they have the same record. So if they don't get their shit together, they might fuck around and let the Panthers. They might, because only one team's making it in from this division. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So.
Man, that's from the NFC South, man. Who knew? Who knew the AFC South was going to look like this, man? The Colts, speaking of the Bucs slide. Colts slide is real.
There's so many weird things to talk about in this game. For one, it pops up on the broadcast. The Colts have not won in Jacksonville in 10 years. That's crazy.
Yeah. Even with Urban Meyer.
Exactly. The most important thing to talk about in this game is obviously that Daniel Jones leaves with an Achilles injury.
You could see that's what it was too.
Yeah, and because Anthony Richardson, as we reported several weeks ago, got an eye injury in the workout room. So in comes former Notre Dame quarterback Riley Leonard, who also injured his knee in this game and is questionable this week. So the Colts are everything that we were hinting at is starting to happen. This has to be the worst case scenario if you're a fan of a team where you start off on this like completely unexpected heater, and now it's just going to go all the way the other direction.
Yeah.
And this is crazy, but I shit you not, this is a real headline from this morning. Okay. The Indianapolis Colts have brought in Phillip Rivers to work out. He's not on the Colts yet, but he is in the building working out and potentially will be starting for the Colts for the rest of the season. Oh man.
Phillip Rivers. We seen him in his turtle move.
Phillip Rivers is this year a semifinalist for the Hall of Fame. That's how long it's been.
Wow.
Which is funny because if he plays, he has to start his whole Hall of Fame clock over again.
Father of 13.
This is crazy. He's a grandfather, bro. He's literally a grandfather. The Colts are in deep trouble.
If Joe Flacco could do it, so can I.
Yeah. Colts are in trouble. The Jaguars and the Texans are are looking to take over. It's going to be a coin toss between those two teams, obviously. The Jags look pretty good in this game. Trevor Lawrence was, making some of those honeypot throws that you like so much.
Yeah.
And he reestablished his connection with Brian Thomas Jr., which has been kind of, suspect over the last several weeks.
Yeah, he's back.
We even got to see a little Nick Mullins in this game. I missed that. They didn't show that on Red Zone. Riley Leonard looked bad.
Yeah.
He looked pretty bad. He wasn't a very good player in college either, but I think this is going to upend a lot of fantasy teams too. Like everybody who has
those playoffs.
I hate it for the Colts
playoffs.
Fans.
Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me?
I'm here for the chaos of please, for the love of God, bring in Phillip. Don't forget, this is the same franchise that when they needed an emergency coach, they yanked Jeff Saturday, off of the ESPN table to to coach the team. So this could be one of the all-time funniest.
Do you think Phillip Rivers, what's the chances of can we put a bet in on turtle tackles?
Probably not.
No. Okay. And you mentioned grandfathers. So speaking of grandfathers, Aaron Rodgers, huh? How about that?
I'm actually kind of mad about this game.
Yeah. Yes.
This was probably one of the more poorly officiated games I think I've ever seen. There was bad officiating
in Baltimore.
Look, the Ravens didn't play great. The concerns over Lamar Jackson continue. I'll say this about Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers had one of those days where he was amazing.
Yeah.
That
Turn
deep
back the
shot
clock.
that he just dropped right into a bucket to DK Metcalf early in the game was like, that is like, you can't throw it any more perfect than that. Rodgers even scrambled for a touchdown.
Yeah.
They interviewed him after the game and they asked him, they said, well, you haven't really scrambled like that in a long time. He's like, it was like, how do you feel after the game? And he's like, well, you guys will learn this when you turn 40. Some days you just wake up and you feel horrible. And some days you wake up and you can't explain it. You just feel like, I feel amazing. I can't.
Oh, wow.
And today was one of those days. He's like, I can't explain. I just woke up and I just felt great this morning.
Wow.
And he played like it for sure. But the moment
they still got robbed, bro.
The moment in question, and this does not make sense. I don't understand this. I have so many issues with this. Isaiah Likely catches the ball. The defender's behind him. He gets 2 feet down in the end zone. And just before his third foot comes down, the defender manages to knock the ball out of his hand. It's called a touchdown on the field. They review it and they overturn the call because they say, well, he caught the ball and he got 2 feet down, but he didn't make a football move. That's the official explanation. Okay. What the fuck? What about when the ball just barely, it doesn't even cross the goal? Like, I don't think that rule should apply in the end zone necessarily.
Yeah.
Think about when a guy catches the ball and just toe taps and then falls. Is the falling part, is that a football move? I would also argue that the 2 feet down and the fact that Isaiah Likely had his hands like fully extended to try to keep the ball away. How is that not a football move?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
and it was called a touchdown.
I think
overturn that. At the very least, the play stands. Like, how do you overturn that?
It's stupid.
I couldn't believe it. We were in that. I was, like I said, you know where I was at. Everybody in there was looking at that screen and just complaining about it. And that's what sometimes they say, like, if we're in a bar and 80% of the bar thinks it's a catch, it should be a catch. Like, the refs should be saying it's a catch too.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, man.
I don't understand it. I mean, they basically took away the game-winning touchdown.
Yeah.
I mean, Harbaugh obviously was just beside himself. There were a couple of other
multiple calls. Harbaugh was losing his mind like the whole fourth quarter.
What was the other one? I'm trying to remember. There was another one
that was like either.
Crazy. Oh, there was another one where Rodgers threw it, it got tipped.
Oh yeah.
And then he and the defender grabbed.
Yeah.
And then, but they said Rodgers had control of it, and it was just
that was such bullshit too, man.
There were so many.
He had control and his foot was down. Like, how does he get possession? Like, so that's not possession and a football move. I mean, that's possession football move. But then the other thing is
the football move was him falling to his knees.
And then you can see. Speaking of waking up not feeling it, they had there's a shot of him like not going for the football once it gets out of his hands. And somebody knocks him off, he just looks like, oh, why did I do this shit? Like, he has his face like, let me get out of here, man. What the fuck?
I mean, yeah, I think they did the Ravens dirty in this one. Big time. Did.
And it was when they have the same record as the Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
The Bills had a scare, and this might have been game of the week.
To me, this was the most fun game. It was a proper snow game.
Yeah.
The Bengals lost, obviously, another shootout. Do you know, I heard something yesterday that the Bengals have been, in the last 2 years, have been involved in like 8 shootouts. A shootout being defined as anything that's over, where both teams get over 30 points. And they're 1-7 in those in those games. This is crazy. This time they lost the game because of Joe Burrow. Unfortunately, he was playing amazing throughout the majority of this game. They, despite the snow, it did not slow these two offenses down at all. I was so surprised. You know, usually snow game, you're going to see a lot of running the ball and all that. Yeah. These guys were slinging it. There was one touchdown pass by Josh Allen that just defied all logic.
Yes. Yeah,
is not supposed to happen, was not supposed to work, was just an absolute example of sorcery. The way he zipped that thing in there on the run as well. But Burrow makes a very, they coughed up a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter, primarily because Burrow, well, first he tried to float this little pass over the defender for a screen pass, and the guy jumped up and batted it to himself and ran it back for
Amazing
pick six.
Play. Yeah.
Great play. And then on the very next snap, that one wasn't his fault. It got tipped, and then that got picked, and the Bills turned that into a touchdown as well. So they wound up scoring 21 points in the course of 5 minutes of game time, I think.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Yeah. The other thing that was a little suspect to me in this one was, I don't know who the concussion protocol guys are, but I mean, shout out to T. Higgins for having such a good game, but this motherfucker left the game multiple times and kept coming back onto the field. I was like, how the fuck is he still out there? And then, of course, immediately after the game, they were like, oh, T. Higgins came to us and said he's feeling symptoms. So now he's in the concussion protocol. I was like, bitch.
Yeah. They should investigate that. It's supposed to be an independent doctor, too.
I mean, he was. To be fair, he was amazing. The guy, 92 yards and 2 touchdowns. He was very, very good. But the Bengals' hopes of making the playoffs pretty much disappeared. There was this real opportunity if they could go on some sort of a heater, but losing this game pretty much wipes that out entirely. I don't know if they're officially eliminated, but
they probably are.
I think they basically are.
But they're going to be terrifying for teams to play.
So that's kind of how I feel about the Bills too, because the Bills probably aren't going to win their division, which means they are going to be like a wild card team that you do not want to get matched up against. They are going to be a handful for sure.
Yeah.
SveNFL is proudly sponsored by Brisket and Friends. Brisket and Friends is the best barbecue in Sweden. Brisket and Friends. Barbecue so good, make you want to slap your grandma. Go there. Get you some good barbecue. Best in Sweden. Now, back to SveNFL.
Oh, there's a potential 1 seed Broncos, man. Are they fake or not? No, they beat the Raiders.
They beat the Raiders. I still think they're fake.
I can't believe the Raiders put up 17 on that defense.
Well, maybe it's because they were playing with Kenny Pickett. The Broncos didn't prepare for Kenny Pickett. They were prepared for Geno Smith. But, I mean, Bo Nix is a pretty accurate quarterback. I give him that. And,
You're not a believer, man.
I'm not. I'm really not. I mean, I think the defense is good. No, sir. The defense is obviously good enough to win them football games, but I don't think they'll travel very far in the playoffs with this kind of offense, really. So I don't know. I don't know what to say about the Raiders. Well, the big story about this game is actually people are pissed that they kicked this meaningless field goal at the end of the game to get this backdoor cover. And people are losing their minds. They're calling for a full-on investigation because everybody thought they were going to hit. Well, because the Raiders had the ball, and there was also a penalty that extended the drive. And apparently this asshole from, what's his name? From Dave Portnoy. Mm-hmm. From, what's the fuck of I forget what his thing is, but Barstool Sports.
Barstool Sports, yeah.
Yeah, he apparently was kind of leading the charge, like writing like Trump in all caps about the Raiders kicking a field goal to to get the backdoor cover. And it's happening in Vegas, and it's like, so everyone's just like throwing conspiracy stuff around. Yeah, so I don't know, but people are upset.
Yeah, but you can have one of the tiebreakers is points scored, and the Raiders think they might make the playoffs. So if they go on a run here,
yeah, I mean they're 2-11. You know, it's better days are right around the corner.
It does smell a little fishy. The Bears-Packers game turned into a really, really good game because the Packers looked like they were going to run away with it, and then the Bears were like, "Hold on now."
It did. Very interesting swing here. The Bears started out Sunday as the 1 seed, but because they lost this game, they dropped all the way to 7.
Oh,
It's almost like they aren't for real. But I don't know. Again, I just think
Jordan Love looks for real.
Jordan Love looks for real. Caleb Williams is one of those guys. He does all of these like highlight things to, you know, evade the sack, and he's a weird head scratching quarterback because his accuracy when he's running out of the pocket is quite good, but his accuracy when he's throwing from the pocket is quite bad. I mean, even his own coach said earlier in the week before this game happened, we're winning football games despite our quarterback play. I mean, his own coach said that.
Damn.
So, I mean, the Packers are kind of rounding into form at the right time of year, obviously. That defense, I think maybe everybody was right about this being a championship caliber defense. It just needed time to gel.
Yeah.
Because they're playing quite well at the moment, and they took care of the run game pretty well. Some vicious hits. I mean, this was some cold weather
it was
football
great. It was
right
a great
here.
game to watch. Yeah.
And the Packers receiving core is starting to, you know, kind of heat up a little bit too. Christian Watson feels like he's kind of emerging as their true number one.
And Reed.
Yeah. And Josh Jacobs is quietly one of the best running backs in football this year.
Yeah.
Very quietly.
Yeah. And then on the NFC West showdown between the Rams and the Cardinals, there's another 40-plus attempts by Jacoby Brissett.
That's crazy.
It trips me out, man. But I'm wondering if the Cardinals are sitting on Kyler Murray to make a trade or something.
Oh, 100%, because they've already announced that he will not play for the rest of the season.
Damn. That's a contract thing.
And I think it's that they just don't want to get him hurt because he can't get rid of him if he's hurt.
Damn.
And I think there's a lot of teams out there that would love to get their hands on a Kyler Murray. I don't think it's a good idea. But I think he'd make a great bridge quarterback. I wouldn't be surprised if he winds up in Atlanta, if I'm being honest. I can think of a lot of teams where he could wind up as a bridge quarterback. We have to sort of like point out at the very least, I mean, the Cardinals are the Cardinals, but why is Jacoby Brissett able to produce with a wide receiver like Michael Wilson, 142 yards and 2 touchdowns, and Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr. can't even come close to that?
Great question.
I just don't understand.
He's also making it easier on his offensive linemen by staying in the pocket for the most part until the pocket breaks down. I'm sure they appreciate that.
Yeah.
Consistency.
Meanwhile, Stafford's let's be honest, he has to be the front runner for MVP.
Yeah, man.
I would say.
You're the real MVP.
And you know, he and Nakua just went absolutely nuclear against the Cardinals. 7 catches for 167 yards and 2 touchdowns, averaging 15 yards per reception. It's crazy. And, you know, I don't know. The NFC West is going to be a tight race still because all those teams are they keep winning football games. But I don't know. The Rams are my favorite, I think, of all those teams.
How do you feel about the Chiefs?
Feels like they're done.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about this 4th down decision by Andy Reid. Obviously, even he admitted it was a mistake.
Yes,
it was a tight game. It was 10-10. They're in their own end. You're obviously way better off just kicking that thing away. Your defense is playing lights out.
Yeah, giving them 3 points.
Both defenses were just the stars of this game. So it's like every point you give up in a game like this can kill you. And it did. It did. I think this is, we'll see. But it looks as of right now that the Chiefs are not going to. It really looks like they're not going to make it. Because they have. Let's see, who do they have left?
They're not. Gonna
I mean, they have a chance. They play the Chargers. They pretty much have to run the table. They have the Chargers, the Titans, in front of them. Chargers, Titans, Broncos, Raiders. I would say, I mean, 3 of those games, I would say, would be quite easy to win. The Chargers are not 100% right now.
No, but they looked great last night.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, they got 4 interceptions and as well as a fumble out of the Eagles. Yeah. And they still had to take it to overtime to win the game.
Yeah, that's true.
So Jalen Hurts might be the first person to turn the ball over twice on the same play. If you haven't seen this, you have to see it. It's like the craziest thing I've ever seen. He throws the interception. The guy's trying to, run with the ball. The guy who picks it off. He gets punched out of his hands. Somehow it lands in Jalen Hurts' arms, and he takes one step, and then somebody punches it out of his arms. It was just like, what is happening?
And the ref had to say, the ref had to come up and like clarify what happened. It was hilarious. Yeah, he was like, the ruling on the field is a fumble by the offense, which is recovered by the defense, who then fumbled. Recovered again by the offense, who fumbled again, and the defense recovers. Chargers ball, first down, timeout. I was like, damn. Oh, cool moment though. Last night I went to a rooftop bar, right down here in downtown Miami, and I had to, it was like I started watching the game before we went out, and then we're out, and I was like, man, I got to see what's happening with this game. So I'm there with Ahmad at the bar, and I just pull my phone out. Next thing you know, the security comes over, and he's just like, oh, what's going on with the game, man? Looking to see who's winning the game, and it goes into overtime and shit. It was just fucking great. I was like, I'm home, man. It's a great feeling.
Rough for anybody who had Jalen Hurts in their fantasy roster last night, myself included. I needed a good game from him, and as well as a good game from Saquon. Saquon stepped up. Saquon had one of his best games in several weeks, 122 yards and a touchdown. The fake kind of wrinkle off of the, they line up like they're going to run the tush push, but then they pitch it to Barkley. That was dope. That was super smart. That was a great play.
They only counted one fumble lost by the Eagles. Should have been 2.
Yeah, I don't know. It's funny because Hurts I think he'd only thrown 2 interceptions all season until this game. That's been one of the criticisms of Hurts that he maybe is a little too safe. Like this is why he hasn't been, but the funny thing is that, we've now had 3 weeks in a row where AJ Brown has had over 100-yard games, and they've lost all 3 of these games. It's like it's kind of a little odd coincidence there. But
it was a good weekend of football, but a lot of upsets though. And
I think the Eagles. I still think the Eagles will win this division. They've got their remaining schedule. They've got Raiders, Commanders, Bills, and then Commanders again. So honestly, they should be fine. I don't think they'll be fine once they hit the playoffs. I mean, they're going to carry all these problems into the playoffs with them. And I'd be surprised if they make it out of the wild card round playing like this.
Oh
shit, not good.
All right. Who's your real MVP for the week?
My real MVP, I'm just going to say that it's like the weather in Buffalo.
That's great.
To me, this was like, I don't know what it is. Like and I'll say this, it snowed just enough for it to be a proper snow game, but it didn't snow so much that it disrupted the way these two like really entertaining. These two teams have the ability to be two of the most entertaining teams on any given Sunday, and the snow didn't slow them down at all, and it just made everything that much more fun. So for me, it's Buffalo weather.
Nice. I didn't hit my little.
You the real MVP.
Weather. Mine is Puka Nacua, man. I love it when a receiver goes off like that. The way he plays, just running people or punishing people that try to tackle him. End of rounds, catching the ball 167 yards, 2 touchdowns. I'm dying. Man, I'm dying over here. But he's one of my favorite players to watch, one of the top receivers in the league. So, Puka Nacua.
You the real MVP.
My trash, we mentioned them earlier in the game, and it's very relevant to the playoff picture. The college playoff picture. Notre Dame is my trash this week, man.
As it should be.
Yeah, man. They're out here spoiled brats, trying to control the narrative. I've always been curious of why they get to be on NBC every week. When I was a kid, like, what is up with this thing? Why do they get pushed down our throats our entire lives, and they get all of this preference? And we finally got to see in the time when all of these we have a country that's turning into an oligarchy, a time when one of these member of the ruling class doesn't get what they want, and Notre Dame finally doesn't get what they want, despite they shouldn't have been number 9 anyway. But that's a whole nother thing. And then they got deservedly pushed out of the college football playoffs and then decide they're not going to play a bowl game. So, I don't know. Those kids who are on the verge of getting, one last look so they can get into the draft, sorry, you can't get that because Notre Dame's having a hissy fit. So, Notre Dame, I love this. That
you are trash!
Yeah, that's a good one. For me, it's a toss-up between the referees again, but I complained about that last week. I'm going to go with Baker Mayfield.
Oh, yeah. Oof.
Over the last 6 weeks, I read about this morning. Baker is a huge part of the decline. His completion percentage, his any other metric you want to check, he is essentially kind of landing in the range of like being just a little bit better than guys like JJ McCarthy.
You mean 9?
Yeah, exactly. I mean 9. I think it's probably injury related to a certain degree. But he has gone from the guy who gives his team a chance to win every week to being the opposite at the moment. I know that you probably still continue to consider him the best player in football, but he's certainly not playing like it at the moment.
Yeah, man.
You are trash!
Shit got learned. I learned that, like, you really can. Like, you would think that the game ends the way it's supposed to end, but I haven't been more disappointed in a conclusion to a game and a call being the reason the team loses than in that fucking Ravens game, where before our eyes we see a challenge, not a challenge, but a review, and a call gets overturned that I can't see how this call gets overturned when I see every week stuff being called, stands in a situation like that. And it's so monumental of a call that it literally flips the result and maybe the division. Like, I learned that the ref really can control the game like that. And it happened. And it's like, come on, man. They really got to figure this out. We've said it like 3 times this year, at least, on this podcast. So
it's absurd to be having a conversation about, like, what is a catch. To still be having this conversation is so stupid.
Yeah, you think about the Des Bryant. We thought we got it all figured out with the Des Bryant Cowboys Packers catch that kind of started the whole talk about,
The other thing that's annoying about this is the timing. I heard somebody else say, like, the really frustrating thing is that if this happened in the playoffs, there'd be a rule change discussion immediately, right? But because it's going to happen in this Week 14 game that the NFL is hoping everybody's going to forget about, they're probably not going to address it at all.
They're probably having a meeting right now with the refs trying to figure out what shitty call they'll make next week so that they can cover up this one.
Exactly.
What's your shit got learned?
I learned that the Chiefs not making the playoffs is the best thing that can happen to them right now.
Yeah.
You had a great run. It's not necessarily, I'm not sitting here calling for the end of the Chiefs dynasty, but it should be a clear indication that you have real issues that you haven't addressed over the last couple of years. If we're being honest, this all started in last year's Super Bowl where you got boat raced by the Eagles. And you should have addressed it then, and you didn't. You need an actual running back. You need to actually fix your offensive line. And you need to go out and get some real receivers for sure. Like this whole idea that, Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes will figure it out. Like that's over. It's time to retool. And I think missing the playoffs will be a very motivating factor for them to do that in the offseason. So it'll give everybody a nice break from having to be like, oh, the Chiefs are going to make it to the Super Bowl again. And also it'll be good for the Chiefs too. So, yeah.
Who you putting some Speck on?
That's a good question. That is a good question. You know what? Maybe we'll put it on Shador, actually.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one. That'll be mine, too, yeah.
I was actually really impressed. He didn't win,
too, yeah.
But he played really well. He's, there's so many weird things that happen in the draft, all these politics of why he didn't get picked. And to be fair, I think there's a lot of blame to go around on him included, on him, on his father, on all these teams that kind of, decided they were out on him. But if Jaden Daniels, look at it. If Jaden Daniels can make it in the NFL, I don't see why Shador Sanders can't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
So, and Jaden Daniels is now showing us this year all of the things that are happening to Jaden Daniels this year are all the things that draft experts were worried about before he even got drafted, like him being so small and being so injury prone didn't affect him in year one. He lit up the league, and now it affects him. So, it can go either way. So I don't see any reason why. I mean, Shador's out here doing things that no Browns quarterback has ever done before. Yeah. So who knows? He deserves
Put some respect on my name.
I agree with that, Speck, but you've given him some spec. So I'm giving some spec to a guy who has gotten some trash lately, man. And we just mentioned him too, man. 9.
Let's go 9.
He was a German. He was German 9 before, but he was actually American 9 this game, where he went 16 for 23, 163 yards, 3 touchdowns, with a rating of 129.2, and that's J.J. McCarthy. His quarterback rating, by the way, is 5 times his quarterback rating last time we saw him. So I think we laughed about it.
Well, it's a good thing he didn't. It's a good thing he didn't take your advice and just spike the ball.
Yeah. I mean, if he did, it wouldn't matter. They would have had 0-0 tie.
That's true.
So J.J. McCarthy is telling everybody.
Put some respect on my name.
Oh, man. All right. Well, that's it, man. I don't know what else to say.
We did.
Oh yeah, we did. I could tell the leaders of Pigskin Pick'em, because I'm really trash right now. Speaking of trash, I had a bad week. I was 7-7 this past week. So right now I'm in 13th place. But I think a lot of people had a bad week. Yeah. The best this week was what, 9 correct. But right now we got Partil's Packers, Interessante Bowler, and all the McVay are our top 3 right now. Pigskin Pick'em. So shout out to them. And shout out to everybody listening to this. I did it, man. I made it. I crawled out of bed and did this podcast, man. Thank y'all for checking it out. This has been our reactions to Week 14. And we'll be back with predictions Week 15. Thank y'all so much. It's been Jonathan Rollins.
Skip Mizora.
With SveNFL. Peace.
Later, y'all.